But we will start at 1.
Yeah, let's do that.
some policies that has been announced and will address the areas that matter to all of us. So it is a great opportunity for all of us to listen, learn and also gain more clarity on the road ahead. We encourage you to stay active, participate and make notes of your queries. If you have any questions or queries, we will answer that at the end of the event. So, let us invite Mr. Mohan Das and Mr. Anand Natarajan on the stage to lead this conversation.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be together again once again, and belated Onam to all of you. And
Voice is not carrying.
hello. Okay. Once again, good afternoon, and good to have all of you together, and those who are remotely connected. Belated happy Onam to all of you. Today we are going to make. Anand will come follow me later because only one person can talk at a time. So we are going to actually give you an insight to not only what we need to do now, but what we need to do going forward. This is going to be our plan. Many of you must have heard things happening, but we thought being family members to Image Info Systems, we need to give you a fairly good picture as to what we are going to do. So, so the first thing that we would like to do, announce is our expansion plan. We are actually going to build a big campus, a fairly large campus, and have our people placed there. We have already acquired the land. We have acquired about 6 acres of land in the outskirts of Cochin at a place called Mukanur, and we are in the process of acquiring maybe 3 to 5 more acres there. Around the same area, the architect has been identified, the design and layout and drawings have been done. We have appointed the licensed consultant who has to get all the approvals. Now, the approvals for such a project is quite cumbersome. It's a long-run process that has to go through many departments within the government, both local as well as the central government. And post that, once the approval is ready, we will have a project management consultant appointed. It has to be a fairly reputable organization. We've kind of done a shortlisting already. We are being very proactive so that delays can be avoided. And once the PMC is in place, then they will invite contractors to start the project and get it done. The expected time for the project to be completed is 2030. We will put in all efforts to see if it can be completed earlier in the interest of time. Thank you. So in the interim, we have decided that as 5 years is a little, 4 to 5 years is a little away, we might as well have an interim office built near the project's area. And we have picked up a building, a total area of 10,000 square feet, and we have signed the lease agreement with them for the next 5 years. We have also identified the person to do the interior work, which might have commenced from today or might this week. And this location is going to be ready before the end of March, and we should be operating from there. The Cochin team will definitely move in there. We will have more recruits coming in there, and some of you also might get moved to the office. The reason for picking up this office is when you move to the project site, it is going to be much easier. I'll give you an idea as to where the locations are. This is the map is not showing for me.
The green light color is very light.
Okay. So this is the approximate map of the image info systems. So if you type into Google Map image info systems Mukanur, it will show up the site. So you can even take a satellite view of what the place actually look like. And this is approximately 15 kilometers from the Cochin International Airport. So it is not very far from the airport. It's much closer, it is much further if you want to go to the Cochin city. And from IISPL Angamali to IISPL Mukanur, it is just about 12.5 kilometers. So you can see the distance between the new office coming up and our campus is not going to be very high. From Cochin International Airport to the temporary office we are creating is just about again 16.5 kilometers, and yeah, so we are very well placed, and I definitely like to tell you that project site is simply beautiful, and the view that you can get from the place is amazing. I'm sure few of you have seen the site when people from Delhi had flown down to Cochin. This place is actually very close to one of the very popular tourist spots in Kerala. It's called the Adirapalli Waterfalls, and that is just about 21 kilometers away from the waterfalls. You have some pictures here to show you the waterfall. It's an amazing place. I haven't been there, but I've heard people say. But I think all of us are going to get opportunities for multiple visits there. So we are now going to show you how the campus will look like, give you a high-level view of the campus. We will have 5 towers built up. 3 of them are office towers, one of them the corporate tower. The corporate tower will have 10 floors. There will be 2 residential floors, one for bachelors and one for ladies and families to stay. Other facilities in the campus includes cafeteria, swimming pool, gymnasium, tennis court, badminton court, pickleball courts, and an auditorium and an amphitheater. So now you can see when the campus is finished how it will look like. So these are the 3 office towers. The one that you see on the extreme right is the corporate office, and the other 2 are the additional office office. And this is the auditorium, internal auditorium. And the view. Okay. So the one on the right and the left are the residential complexes. Okay. These are different views. You can see the view, this is a swimming pool right at the bottom. So I think that gives you a full view of how the campus looks like. The architect has done an excellent job. Hats off to the architect, I must say. For your information, the architect is Urvashi's brother. He is a very popular architect. He's done amazing jobs across the country. So he's a very popular person. So now going forward, you can see how ambitious we are and how ambitious we are to reach heights, and we want all of you to carry the ambition with us, and all of us have to be ambitious. This is a big plan. We are not going to be considered as a small organization. We are trying to grow big, and after my presentation, Anand will also give you a brief as to what our plans, how confident we are, and the path that we are going to take to make sure we can achieve all these things. So one of the things which is very important is for us to identify our weakness and correct them, because we cannot be weak anymore. The good thing is that over the last 6 months we've had many reviews with the managers. We've been able to identify the areas where corrections have to be done, improvements have to be done, and thanks to the support of all of you, we've been able to correct quite a large set of them. But that has to be a continuous process, because we can't afford lapses. I'm not going to go through many of the things, because this slide will anyway be circulated. Can you move to next? Okay, now what is important is going to be the opportunities that is lying ahead of us. And we have good opportunities. New businesses are coming. Anand and team is focused on developing new products. We need new products. We need new business streams along with our product. The latest one which Anand and team has done is the ExpressClear.ai, which is a cloud-based solution providing a combination of our products which include the OCR, ICR engine, ASV, and Positive Pay. All of you know that continuous clearing is around the corner for the banks in India, but through regulatory guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India. So this requires people to process checks in a very short period of time. And when they have a short period of time, the manual processes are going to take a lot of time, and they want to automate that. So what we did is that we developed a suite of product where people can send the images, the required data or images to the cloud and get it digitized through the ICR or OCR engine, the signature verification done, so that they don't miss the cycles that are available, short cycle time available to them. It's an amazing solution. We've already started onboarding banks to a beta site to do the testing, to get a feel of it. The good thing is that though they said October 2nd is a go live, they're actually making the short cycles happen only in January, so banks are going to get sufficient time in testing. And again, hats off to the team who worked with Anand to get this ready. Another approach that we are doing is to increase the business, is to do the upselling with our existing customers. And that's an effort we started last year. We couldn't step it up much because we had a lot of issues with our customer. Like I said, thanks to the effort of the team, we have now really improved our support to such a level that we are having an upper hand with the customer. Having an upper hand with the customers have realized that they can rely on us, and we have started talking to them, and many customers have put up their hands to add on products from us. That's a very, it's happening not only in India, it's also happening in the UAE as well as in the Philippines. This is going to be one good revenue stream that we are going to have. We are also anticipating to get new businesses in Egypt and the Philippines. These are two focus countries right now that we have. I think that's about it, and thank you everyone. We are very happy to have you as family members, and let's move forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. That is not the end of the presentation. I am here to tell you. No, I'm good. Manji told you about what we have planned for the company in terms of expansion, capacity expansion. In terms of capacity expansion, as you may have seen, and I'll just quickly show it to you again, a large development campus, in-house, resident, where all amenities of life are planned out to be provided to everybody who's there. This is not the only thing we have planned for you all. There are many other things that we have planned for all of you who are part of our family. What are they? First is the employee support policy that has been created and announced. I will give you a quick run through of. It is not just that we are thinking about the expansion of the company only. We are also looking at welfare for all of our employees and family members. I will just, although these have been shared with all of you as well, but I will be announcing many of these things and giving you a highlight. Things like the support on the marriage of occasion for marriage for any of our employees. Many of you are young guys and young girls, and at time when you do decide to move to the next stage in your life, we'll be helping you to ensure that there are certain support provided to you, like support for on the occasion of a marriage, where the eligibility etc. has been provided and has been provided as to what is the grants. These are not loans, these are grants that are given to all our employees for their well-being. Support at the time of birth of a child for all the young married couples within our organization. As you go through different stages of life, we would want you to feel supported, and we will ensure that the organization supports your stages of life as well. Apart from that, there are certain other benefits that we have worked out, things like purchase of vehicles, purchase of two-wheelers to make your commute times and this easier in life, and also a support for personal loans, interest-free loans, where if for any financial exigency that you face, a certain amount can be availed based on where you are within the hierarchy of the organization and the time that you spend with it. Last but not least, we are also finalized the child education assistant grants for all those who are having children and are facing rising costs of education for their children. There will be grants provided by the organization for their children's education throughout their education life cycle, from class 1 all the way to graduate degree. Different kinds of education programs have been worked out, the assistant levels have been worked out, eligibility has been worked out, and the details will be shared with all of you very shortly. This is one set of this, and there are schedules that we worked out specifically for those which are where there will be multiple contenders for this. So what as an organization we've done is, out of our earnings, we have allocated a certain portion of those earnings for employee welfare, which essentially means that these will be annually looked at. What is as we grow, as we become bigger, these numbers will keep increasing and do. As you see right now, we are doing about 10 vehicles as two-wheeler vehicles and 2 car vehicles, and these will keep going up as and when we do. Right now, what the schedule of this has been, how many has been availed, etc. is all shown to you. We have also undertaken an ESOP policy, employee stock option policy. Not only are you going to be remaining as employees, but we want you to partake in the ownership of the company by way of recognizing that all of you are what makes this company. This is a very essential feedback that we have. We consider this word that Monji used and I use as family, as that you are part of this family, an image of assistance family, and we want you all to have this as well. Full-time employees who have completed 2 years of service with us will become eligible for ESOPs. There's an entire mechanism of how the eligibility will be working out, how certain sets of individuals have already been given, and this is now being broad-based to all employees. The ESOP policy will be broad-based to all employees. Certain conditions and criteria, etc. are going to be there. How does this work? it works as you get a option or an option which is a right to avail of shares of the company, which essentially means that there are three different processes: grant of an option, vesting of the option, and an exercise of the option. There's an entire table, and I think you've all received this already. This is going to be put in place right away, and the modalities of issuance are going to begin now. There are different categorizations of how it is going to be, and how many grants, how many stock, etc. you become eligible for at what point of time, and how they will convert to shares and what time it will happen. Many questions asked is, at the end of the day, a share of a company received does show that you are a shareholder in the ownership of the company. But what will I do with such a piece of paper which obligates the company to say that I am a shareholder? Well, that is an exciting news coming up. And that is the last piece that I am telling you. We are soon working out to announce an IPO. We are right now working on the modalities and this, so that sometime in the immediate upcoming future, our stock will actually get listed on a stock market. Which means that this is not just, the stock options are not just going to be a piece of paper. They will also have their intrinsic value, which will be traded in the market. It's going to be a major milestone for the company. The company will change from a private limited closely held company to a public limited company held widely. Hopefully, all of you will participate in our growth, and I hope that people can see the vision that we are trying to build. We're trying to build a sustainable, large software products company out of India. The contribution of each and every one of you is important in it as well. Thank you so much. Question answers. A session for question answers. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll be happy to answer. No questions. And this is an opportunity to ask anything that you would want to ask. Okay. Lots of people, my team tells me that lots of people had queries about ESOPs. They didn't know what exactly is an ESOP. And hence I put in some more details. Let me explain them to you. What is a stock option? The stock option is a right, a document that prescribes you to have the right to avail of shares of the company at a prefixed price at a future date. When does it vest? What's the concept of a vesting? This is an obligation that is provided to you, which essentially means that you will get these shares at such a point of time in future at a predetermined price. That price is determined today at time T, and there's an obligation that the company will issue you those shares. Vesting is the process. An employee earns the right to exercise. You can choose that, hey, no, I am not going to be continuing with Image Info Systems, I'm going to leave. So what will I do with the stock option? Because there are certain obligations associated with vesting. That is, you have to have a certain commitment of staying with us for a certain period of time before those stock vest actually. The exercise is actually the concept at the time, the future point I told you, T, some point T in future. When that arrives, that actual share certificate or dematerialized form will issue to you, which is called the exercise option. Okay? This is not just one grant for one person at one time. It is in different stages. Once you become eligible for different stages, it will be so. A quick table that explains how it works. The service completed period is your employment duration with the organization. There are certain preconditions, which are things like performance, which is the role and the critical skills that you possess, length of the service of the company, within the organization, at what hierarchy level are you, and any other four factors that there will be a committee that will be created, which is called the ESOPs Grant Committee, which will have representatives from the management from this and independent third party as well, which will be determining whether any particular other skill or any other thing is crucial for the organization and its own plans, and that can be considered as one of the criteria. So there are different stages that occur. What essentially happens is, after you've completed 2.5 years, the options grant is 1,000, which will vest. The grant date will be 2.5 years of service, which is the start first time. That is, after you've completed 2.5 years of service, you get the grant, which is a document which say that such and such number of shares will be exercised on T plus 2.5 years, which is essentially 2.5 years, 3.5 years, and 5 years. So, and after completion of 2.5 years, at the end of the period of 5 years, you will get 1,000 shares, and each year subsequently, the grant options are there, totaling up to 5,000 shares of the organization. And it is a speculation as to what would be the price of a share at such different points of time. As we keep growing, shares, the value of each company keeps increasing, and so does the value of each individual shares, right? So it is very difficult for me to give you an idea of what kind of value does this really mean, but the value essentially means that each of you has the probability to be a shareholder, an ESOP holder, and this will translate to money at some point of time, right? In future, it is. So, can I take this as part of my pay package? No, it is not. It's not part of your pay package. It is part of an ESOP grant, which essentially means that as long as you perform, as long as you stay with the company, and you fulfill other eligibility criteria, this will vest, and they will get converted to shares at that such designated points in time in future. If anybody has any specific questions, this was a general question that was asked, and hence I've answered that. If there are any specific questions that anybody has, I'll be happy to. So, I mean, he was just asking me to clarify that the period, what happens if a person leaves after 5 years? Well, you own a stock, so once it is vested, it is yours. If you leave after that also, it still remains with you. Right? So the expectation is not that this is some form of a attempt to keep you controlled within an organization. That's not the idea. The idea is that you should have partaken in the growth of the organization, contributed to it positively. Once you've done that right, it's not going to be changed. Right? The idea is not that. The idea is to ensure that you contribute positively throughout your existence, throughout your lifespan in the organization, right? So that's the idea. And once the vesting occurs, which is at this point of time, the shares will be exercised irrespective, right? So that's how it works. The details have already been shared. In case you are not aware of anything, you want clarifications, we are happy to provide you clarifications. So, at the end of this, I would really say one thing. It is in this town hall, what we were trying to tell you was, what are the plans of the company, what are the steps it is taking already, what all have been done, and what has been envisaged for the next 5 years, and also what is it that you are all going to get, what is the benefits that you are going to get, and what is that we have in terms of both welfare as an ESP, as well as participate in this growth and upward trajectory of the organization. And this is going to be across the board. It's not restricted to only a certain type of employees or anybody. It is across the board. Any questions anybody has right now? Don't I mean, you feel a town hall is expected to be a situation where you can actually ask questions if you want to about any of our plans. Like for example, somebody could ask, I mean, something has been said here, what does it mean? Well, at the campus, it will be fully residential for you and your family, immediate family. That is how it is expected to be. Right? It is a fully residential campus. Cafeteria where food will be served 24/7. All kinds of facilities within the organization, for everything that you want. Work-life balance. That's what we are trying to do here. So that it takes you 5 minutes to get to office. It doesn't take you the 2.5 hours that you commute one way. And you have all the facilities that you want. Oh, management भी campus पे रहेगा तो क्या वो रहेगा? But no, we are not going to be staying there. Just letting you know. We are not going to be far away. We are not going to be very far away. Like for the interim office in Angamali, setting up, I will be shifting permanently to Kochi because the technical teams I'm looking. I'm not saying that office in Delhi. Delhi will remain our headquarters. It will be the place where we have started, and we will continue to remain there. Just like Kochi was right now handled by one of the seniors. One of the seniors and multiple seniors here will handle a larger office here as well. So nothing like that. But what we are trying to build is a infrastructure that's sustained, that is there available for sustained growth, where we can build capacity, both human as well as technical and infrastructural, and we have the adequate space to not worry about whether we get a big deal. How am I going to have 20 more resources to be able to do so? Right? How am I going to house them? Where am I going to make them sit? What's going to happen? So we are trying to ensure that we are on our path to get there. As an organization, we target to be a 250 crore turnover organization in the next 5 years. That's the target that we all are taking to bring about. You all have to contribute to that as well. So, no questions? Too scared to ask? I mean, this is the opportunity where you can. Yes, please. Can we give a mic? One second. When will we see the IPO? Well, I only have one word answer to that. I have written that word here already. First word, soon. Soon. There are many things that take into that. There are lots of compliances, lots of things to be done, but soon. I can't give you a definite timeline right now, but it is something that we are working on already. Any other questions? Any questions? Or should I call this closed now? Okay. Anyway, it is not that this is the only opportunity to ask questions. If at any point of time, I hope you all understand and know that we do employ what we call as an open door policy. At any point of time, any of you are free to raise a question, query, either through HR or directly to the management, and they will be happy to respond to you. So, at any point of time, again, I would say we are trying in this town hall to show you the vision that we all have of where our growth trajectory should be and how you all are key participants in that. Each one of you has something to contribute in that. Some have more, some have less, but no contribution is any more than the other in terms of the value that it brings. Each one of you is expected to contribute. And how do we contribute? Well, we put our head down, work hard, work smart, and ensure that what we need to do, we get done on or before time. That is how we get it done. Right. Thanks everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing the details and the insights. I hope now every one of you has an idea of the company's vision and the growth that has been planned. And it definitely includes each one of us. And we all have to contribute towards the company's vision. And that is how we can grow. And that is how we can achieve the goals. With this, we will wrap up this formal part of the day and we'll move towards a festive space. We'll start with the Onam Sadhya. We'll make the necessary arrangements and I would like you all to please cooperate. We will have to make seating arrangement here. Please cooperate. And after the Sadhya, we will have some cultural activities, fun games, etc. Thank you. I request everyone to please move towards the back or towards the side as we will need this middle portion for the Onam Sadhya arrangement. And we would also request you all to kindly take off your shoes, your sandals, because that is how traditionally it is done. Please take off your shoes outside.
अब नहीं
कटवा बोलते
sit and eat together. So all of you who were not there last year, who are here this year, can just understand why we celebrate. Onam is a festival of down south, Kerala especially, and we celebrate Onam because there was a king called Mahabali. Photo band karo. So the king was, a very rich and very kind. So you would have all heard a different part of the story. You would all have heard a different part of the story of, where there was a Raja and he was a very Dani Raja and some Bhikshak came to him and he said, "Mang lo jo mangna hai, ask for anything." That's the story of Mahabali. So the king was very kind and he said, "You can ask me anything." So he said, "I don't want anything. I'll only take 3 steps of land for." So that 3 steps he took. Questions? So the first step. Step he took was what type? Then second step he took was the ocean. And the third step he said, "Now king, where do I take the third step?" The king sat down on his knee and said, "Put your third put your third foot on my head. So everything is yours." So the king gave him everything. So the story says that the king was so kind that you can ask anything. And once in a year, the king comes to everybody's house and see that everybody has that prosperity, happiness, and everybody has enough food to eat. So this tradition in Kerala is all for families together to sit and eat. And it is not that one day you all eat together. Onam Sadhya is celebrated at least 4-5 days in Kerala. One day you go to one cousin's house, another day to other cousin's house, Mausi, Chacha, Nani, Mami, all like that. We all get together at each other's place to have food. So that shows the sign of our prosperity and togetherness. Thank you. This is Am and Gocha. This is Param, Kela. This is Avial. This is Pachadi, Khichdi, Toran, Avial and food curry. And this is Gudka banana chips. कौन है? हमको सांभर दो। दाल के बाद सब लोगों को सांभर। this